What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. TammyTalks here. Let's talk Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 9, Partying Ways. We are still in Nashville. This season feels long, even though the episodes are short. I think it's because everybody is insufferable. We'll figure it out. So let's go ahead and get into it. One episode, or should I say one recap tonight for the episode, y'all. So I want to do my recaps a little differently. So I'm going to go back to the chronological order. So the recap is going to be in the order that the episode was. And then I will have up a recap on the after party tonight. And then Thursday or probably Friday morning, early afternoon, I will have up some smaller individual videos that's like getting a little deeper into the actual couples, all right? So the episode starts off with McKinley and Domynique, picks up right where the last one left off, where they're talking with Pastor Cal, and McKinley feels that they would be making a very, very quick and rushed and hasty decision if they were to decide to go their separate ways and get a divorce, before looking at everything that could have happened. Like, basically he's saying he doesn't want to get the divorce. He wants to try a little bit more than the first day that they're supposed to be moving in together. Domynique keeps saying she's over it. And see, Domynique likes to call herself this old soul, but this is where her immaturity is showing. Because Domynique keeps saying, I'm over it, and Pastor Cal is like, over what? Just all of it. No, what are you over? So Pastor Cal, he took them glasses off, and, when he do that, he's over it, and so was I. It's very simple, Domynique. Do you want a divorce? Or do you want to stay married? It is very simple. But we can't have it both ways. Use your words like the old soul that you are. Older people like to talk. They like to be very direct, very blunt, very honest. Say what it is. Do you want a divorce or not? She asks for the divorce. Pastor Cal tells her that, basically you need to take some time and figure out what it is you want in life. He said because he thinks that, maybe 25 was too young for this. Domynique, like, low-key, kind of like chuckles as if she was like offended by it. No, 25 was too young for this. But Married at First Sight producers, Pastor Cal, Dr. Pepper, Devon Franklin, the other girl that is the stand-in expert, this falls on y'all because y'all knew good and well that 25 years old was too young to be on this show. On top of that, y'all paired her with a 34-year-old man that lived in the basement. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care how much money McKinley has. I don't care how awesome McKinley might be. The fact that he lives in that basement is a turnoff. It's a turnoff to her. I can't fault her for that. But the way that she is handling this is trash. 25 was too young to be matched with McKinley because she does not have the maturity to understand what McKinley is trying to go through. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm immature too, because that would have been a turnoff for me. While it's a turnoff, it's not cause to be like, oh, I want a divorce. And that's where my 30-something age, maturity, and have lived life and relationships is different than Domynique's 25-year-old life, who she still wanted to have girls' nights. Remember that? We got to have our girls' nights. We got to have Taco Tuesday, way back Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Freaking Friday, Saltine Saturday. Saltine. But, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's where the immaturity in her comes in. And Pastor Cal, for you to be mad about that, this falls on y'all. This is y'all fault. So Pastor Cal then tells her that she is choosing to give up and she is accepting failure. And Domynique kind of looks away like she wanted to roll her eyes. You are. Y'all didn't even move in together. This is crazy. Honestly and truly, I really feel like Married at First Sight has to put some more clauses into this. One, you have to move in. Without fail, you have to move into the shared apartment. 2, should you choose to move in, I feel like you got to stay together for at least 30 days. I feel like this being able to call it quits on day 12 is bull. So she got to go to, where are they at? Jamaica? She got to go to Jamaica and get her free trip, get her little shine on TV, and then now you want to decide that you want a divorce, girl? Bye. Bye. Over it. Over it. So then, Pastor Cal gets up and leaves because he's relieved he has one less couple to deal with. So Domynique tells McKinley, I am so sorry. Girl, bye. McKinley should have been the epitome of Martin. Step. Go now get. Okay? Because like, what are you still here for? What, are you really sorry? Girl, gone somewhere. So then McKinley is crying in his confessional. And I said, you see that, McKinley? You did all this hopping. Chasing the show. Going from city to city. Trying to be on the show. And look what you got. Look what you got. Look what you got. I feel like people that this happens to, they deserve to get matched again. There needs to be some type of like recasting, special. Where's my thing? Never mind. There needs to be some type of like recasting special where these people can get another fair chance. Because I don't think it's fair that poor McKinley, he's out. So then we see Domynique packing up her little run over Converse, and we see her have the audacity, the gall, the temerity to go walking down the hallway with her box looking like she get ready to cry. What are you crying for? You wanted that divorce. I'm so over, and I'm not a person that's over the show. I mean, for me, it's still entertaining, to be honest. But I just feel like, why can't I find sorry, y'all, my glasses are filthy. But I just feel like this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So we then pan over to Jasmine and Aries. They're out walking Duchess. So Aries is getting acclimated to the dog, apparently. We see Shaq and Kirsten. He is fixing Kirsten's tire. It looked like he has like one of those little air compressors. So she's happy. Her knight in shining armor got to fix her tire. I keep telling y'all, she knows she like that man, but she wants to keep acting like she don't. You know you like him. Kirsten has a guard up. Gina and Clint. So Clint is out playing frisbee with a friend. Do adults play frisbee like this? I feel like we have seen a lot of scenes the past couple seasons of these people playing frisbee. I'm gonna go get a frisbee. I'm gonna play some frisbee this summer because they make it look fun. So he's out playing frisbee, and he's talking to his friend about the honeymoon. He said this is a good friend of his that he is known in the sailing community, okay? So he got a boat too. So Clint said that while, they did some fun stuff, they took a hike to a waterfall. He said that Gina is very wrapped up in work. She can't see really outside of anything. She can't see focus on anything outside of work. So he tells his friend that they just don't have that physical attraction to each other. And he said that, when they were talking with Pastor Cal told them to start to try to look for attraction from within. See if you can build that attraction from within, which does happen with some people. Not all, but I can see it happening. And I think in this instance, and I think just like with Jasmine and Aries, if you're saying that if you can acknowledge that this person is attractive, you're just not attracted to them because it's not somebody that you typically go for, there is still hope and room for your attraction to grow from the inside out. And I've wanted to work with Gina and Clint for some reason. I feel like they're the only hope on the show. I wanted to work for them, but we'll see. So his friend then tells him that sometimes people start to look differently over time after you've known them and stuff like that. He mentions that that's typically where you're with a group of, like somebody you've been friends with. And then over time, it's like, oh, never really looked at him that way. And I feel like that's the vibe that Clint and Gina are hoping to get. So Clint said that her dog has the same hair color as her, and he thought that she didn't like redheads. That dog is not a red. That's not a red dog to me. That dog looks blonde. Is it me? Is it my TV? That dog looks blonde. I don't know what y'all are seeing, but Clinton, that dog, and Hank don't have the same hair color. So we get Jasmine and Aries. So Aries is meeting up with his cousin Felina. This heifer. She's getting way too much airtime. But he's meeting up with his cousin Felina. And Aries is saying that he is trying to navigate between her very deep attraction to him and his lack of attraction to her. Aries, I'm going to need you to stop saying it like that. Aries is acting like Jasmine is walking through the apartment and every time she sees him is, hey, Big Daddy, you looking good? Like, I feel like he's making it seem like she's like really coming on to him a lot, where I don't feel like that is the case. And I'm like, what is she doing aside from saying I'm attracted to you that makes you feel like she has this like deep-rooted, deep-seated attraction to you? It's given narcissist, okay? And then you don't always have to say, you know, I'm very sexual and I don't want to have sex with her. We get it. So he feels that he has a wall up and he isn't allowing his attraction to grow because she is not his typical body type. That's childish. That's something that Aries is going to have to work on and get past. So he said that he is confident that, you know, if he were to get sick or if something were to happen, that she would be there for him. And that's something that he has not felt in relationships in the past, even with people that he has been in a relationship with for a couple of years. So that's a plus for him. That's promising for him. His cousin said, so what is the problem? He said, well, we don't have sexual attraction. Like, I'm not sexually attracted to her, and that's what concerns him. So Felina's over there laughing. I said, yeah, because in her mind, she thinking, but, you know, remember what we did, you know, a couple of weeks before? Like, something about her is giving off. And now that we know that she is not a blood cousin, I'm sorry, but absolutely not. So he then tells his cousin that Jasmine is very accepting and being very patient with him. Like, she understands that, you know, he has to go at a slower pace with this. He's like, and she's, you know, being cool about it. Felina was like, but see, that's what I'm talking about. She seemed fake. She seems fake because you got to stand up for what you want. She always got an answer ready. Heifer, you always got something to say and something ready and written down and prepared when you sit your ass on screen too. So what difference does it make? If Jasmine does have all the right answers, you seem to have a lot written down and prepared, and your stuff ain't coming top of the dome either. You seem very rehearsed when you sit yourself down with them ill-fitting ass tops. Nobody's saying anything about that. Tired of Felina. Don't bring her back on here. Don't bring her to the reunion. Don't bring her to the part of the show where they go read the letters to themselves. We don't need to see her no more. We don't need to see her no more. So he then said that, you know, we're having this housewarming. She said, I'm not going to that. If you don't want to come, fine, right? But I feel like the way that she is saying everything is really giving scorn lover. It's really giving lady of the night. It's giving escape my little secret. Come, like, I'm okay. So she then asks him, I'm sorry, she said she's not going because she's not going to be somewhere and support something that she doesn't truly believe in and support. You carried your ass to the wedding, to the reception, and ate that free food. You have no problem coming to be on camera. Isn't that you supporting something? Isn't that you being a part of something that you don't support? Felina, go to hell, girl. Go. Bye. backwards on a broomstick, gasoline jaws, however you want to do it, but you're doing too much. So she then asked him if he even wants to be married. He said yes. You can see a little piece of her die. You see a little piece of her die when he said yes. So she was like, okay, so be a husband and go have sex with your wife. She then tells him, if you're not happy, after, doing all you can to work this out, don't waste your time. Your time? His time? Whose time? No. Don't waste Jasmine's time. We don't care about Aries' time. Don't waste Jasmine's time. You're wasting her time because she's all in. She's trying to go through the process and do what she is supposed to do. You are not. Disgusted. Absolutely disgusted with Felina. So then we pan over to Nicole and Chris. So Nicole is out with a friend. And she's talking about her rings. And she said her rings are too big. But she's never, ever going to take them off. Because her husband bought them for her. And she loves them so much. Married at First Sight bought them for you. Production picked those out. But all right. So she said that Chris is everything that a woman would want. He compliments her all the time. But in like the back of her head, she's always second guessing. Like, okay, like, are you saying this to make me happy? Is it, you're saying this because you feel like that's what you should say? Are you just going through the motions? So her friend asked her, do you think he's genuine? And she's like, yeah, totally. Totally think he's genuine. It's all in her head. Nicole is not used to somebody treating her nice and with such compassion that Chris is. But a big part of this too is the fact that they let these people talk to their friends and family, and everybody has said how much of a pushover Chris is. So now she's on pins and needles thinking that he's trying to appease her when this is probably just his normal sweet self. So her friend told her, like, you just have to kind of relax with it. You know what I mean? Take it all. Girl, take them compliments. Take the compliments. So she then said that she's waiting for the other shoe to drop. She's waiting for something to go bad. Her friend said it's coming. That's relationships. That's natural. It's coming. But you have to learn, don't walk on pins and needles around him either. You have to be yourself. Because you can't truly... You can't stop being who you truly are to try to protect Chris's feelings. If you are loud and abrasive and that's who you are, then that's who you are. Don't change yourself to protect Chris, because that's how resentment grows in relationships. So we get Gina and Clinton finally moving in. Gina says in the confessional that she is nervous about living with somebody because she has been living by herself for the better part of 4 years. And she's now nervous about having to be accommodating to somebody else's schedule. What did you think was going to happen when you signed up for Married at First Sight? That's what gets me about these people. You signed up for this show knowing that you're going to get paired with another person, a stranger, that you're going to have to live with and share time with and compromise with. And everybody is saying how they struggle with doing that. Then why are y'all on the show? So we get back to Aries and Jasmine. So they're talking about their party. It is time for the housewarming parties. So the day before, they were going over the guest list, and Jasmine was writing down the names, and Aries said Felina, and Jasmine refused to write her name down and was like, who else? Aries wants to know what was the deal with that situation. Jasmine said that she's not comfortable with her. Okay, in the confessional, she said that Felina called her fake, and she doesn't want anyone in her presence that's not genuine. I kind of feel like she should have just told Aries that. Your cousin is rude. I'm not comfortable with your cousin because your cousin does not wish our relationship well. That's literally all you had to say. So Aries said that, well, I invited her anyway. And he said, well, she said she didn't want to come. So it's cool. Jasmine was like, good. Feelings mutual. So Aries said that, The real thing with Felina is she's very strong-minded, very strong-willed, very direct. And if you don't answer a question the way that she thinks that you should, she thinks that it's scripted. I feel like that's more of a Felina problem than anybody else. Because if you think that everybody that's not answering something the way that you would answer the question is scripted, it's given you walk around underneath the guise of a script in your head. So he said that to his cousin, their marriage and stuff is not real, but that's really a her problem. And he said, you know what? Eventually she'll get over it. In a year from now, we might be all sitting around laughing about this. And Jasmine's face was like, no, we won't. We won't. We won't. We will never get to a place where we can laugh about you being disrespectful to me and to our marriage. We will never get to that place. But okay, Aries. So we have Nicole and Chris. They have a Let's Flamingo party. So Chris was saying how he wanted to make some buffalo chicken sandwiches because he makes a really good sandwich. And Nicole was like, doesn't match the theme. So he didn't get to make his sandwiches. And I feel like, what is the thing for a Let's Flamingo party? Y'all can't have no buffalo chicken sliders? Why can't y'all have sliders? So, but okay. So Nicole wants Chris to wear this pink shirt that it's a button-up shirt. Half of it is like stripes. The other half is a bunch of like pink flamingos. He was like, and you can tell that he wanted to cave and be like, if you really want me to, then I will. And Nicole was like, you don't have to if you want to, if you don't want to. But it doesn't scare you don't have to, but I guess I could. And if I felt like I was watching a Tyler Perry show. Do you like the shirt? I don't like the shirt. You really don't like the shirt? I don't like the shirt. You don't want to like the shirt? That's what it felt like. If y'all don't take that damn ugly shirt and put it down, either tell him, Nicole, I want us to wear these shirts for the theme. Or Chris, tell her point blank, I don't want to wear it. But this push and pull is going to get very old between them very, very quickly. So back at Shaq and Kirsten's house, they each invited a married couple because they felt that that would be the best way to get insight on their marriage and like get some type of advice. So they're talking about the honeymoon. And it gets to the point of like, did y'all have sex yet? Have y'all consummated? Are y'all kissing? Kirsten says she's not a good kisser, and that's why she does not kiss a lot. I feel like Kirsten got to come up with a better excuse as to why she don't want to kiss Shaq. Literally nobody ever says I'm not a good kisser. Unless somebody has told you that before, and that's unfortunate. But I'm like, nobody just goes around saying I'm not a good kisser. You would be better off saying I don't like to kiss. So Shaquille says in his confessional that he is a big kisser. He got some big lips. I bet he does like to kiss. So he said that he is a big kisser, but he wants to wait until she is ready and comfortable to do so. It looked like on the preview for next week, they might be a little closer to I guess, hugging, getting past, the half a base that he's on. So Kirsten is talking to his people, and she said that Shaq is being very patient, and she's really trying her hardest to kind of open up to him. So they tell her that sometimes attraction just clicks. And his friend, the couple, the guy is saying that they were friends for so long with his wife, and then one day he just like looked at her differently, and that attraction was there. And that can happen. So Kirsten said that they are doing better now than they were on day one. So she has some hope. So while Shaq is talking to her friends, he wants to know if he's being too patient. Like, do I need to like light a fire under her? Should I keep falling back? Because like the worst thing that Shaq can do is get friend zoned. So one of the couple, they tell him, I think it was the woman, tells him that she might just need you to exert a little dominance and force. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it might just have to be you leaning in for a kiss, or you taking that extra step to like lift her in your lap or something like that. And Shaq just has to take that initiative. You can be patient, but don't let that patience take y'all all the way to decision day and y'all haven't kissed. Or y'all haven't had any type of physical touch. Because like every time we see them, they're laying on each other or leaning on each other or hugging. So there is some type of chemistry there. But these parties were foul. I feel like these parties were foul. Wasn't nobody playing no games or nothing. We just got straight to the talking. I guess that's what we missed when they took that last half hour out. So Nicole and Chris. So they're looking at the wedding pictures. And Nicole is saying how this is not the original wedding picture that they had. So the picture she holds up is them at the altar kissing. And you got the officiant in the back. Whereas the picture that y'all got, which is like everybody else's, which y'all sitting down, doesn't have the officiant in the back. I don't hear nothing else about no pictures from Nicole, because your hair looked bad on both of those pictures. So what's the difference? So she then put out the shirts and was talking about how she wanted them to wear the shirts, but Chris, she's happy that Chris, was upfront about it, how he didn't want to wear it and that he stood his ground. But ultimately, y'all wound up with the shirts being on. That was a very passive-aggressive way of getting both of y'all to wear those shirts for your company. You could have still wore the shirt yourself if you wanted to. You could have. So Chris is talking to her friends, and he is saying that she gets a little more upset than he does, but he likes that she is strong and opinionated. He's not worried about her venom because it has not been directed towards him yet. It's coming. So Chris's friend came late, and after his friend comes in late, Nicole pours him a drink, and she starts talking to his two friends. And Nicole said that she thinks that Chris is just trying to appease her. And she said it's very hard for her to not walk all over him because she's a very strong-minded individual, and she knows that he's a pushover. It's easy to walk over him, and that's not something that she wants to have happen. So it's a lot for her to kind of regulate herself while trying to force stuff out of him. So she said it doesn't make her happy if he's doing things just to make her happy, but he's secretly miserable. So she said after a while, it's going to get old of her, like being like, but do you really want to do it? Okay, like really, really want to do it, or are you just doing it for me? And I can see what she's saying, because I don't want to have to constantly treat you like a 5-year-old to find out, do you have to use the bathroom? Are you sure? Why don't we just try instead? Because that's what you do to a 5-year-old before you get in the car to go on an hour drive. You know what I mean? So that they are going to crash and burn very, 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 very soon. So we have Aries and Jasmine. So they're at their party. And I'll be damned if there were people with shoes on in the apartment. Didn't Aries say that all his friends knew, all his people knew not to wear shoes inside his house? Both of your friends had on their shoes. So I don't even know what the theme for their party was. I think they just decorated, but it looked nice. So they talk about how communication is neither one of their strong points. And then Aries brings up, because we had an issue where we were making out the invite list for this party, and I put my cousin Felina down, and Jasmine clearly didn't speak up, but texted me after she left that she had an issue with it. He said he would have preferred for her to speak up and say right then and there in that moment, I don't want Felina to come because I'm not comfortable with her. And that, you know what, Aries, you're right. Instead of you waiting until the next day to have this conversation, you should have told him off rip, I don't like your cousin. I don't think your cousin like me. I don't think she should be at the party. We could have talked about it. So Aries is talking to her people, and he said that he would be super excited if she was willing to give up her dogs. I get what you're saying, but that comes across a way, Aries. Then he was like, except for Duchess, because that's the dog that he's been, building a relationship with over the past week. So he feels that they need a plan. And Jasmine's aunt asks him, like, are you willing to put forth the effort to make this work? Because we're not looking just at the 8 weeks. We're looking beyond the 8 weeks. And he was like, we'll just try and see what happens. Aries is going along to get along in his marriage. He's either going to fall in love with her or really start to like her, or he is just biding his time until decision day. Jasmine is talking to his people, and she said that they aren't having sex, just flat out, we ain't having sex. I was like, okay, girl. But she said they aren't having sex because they don't have the sexual chemistry, and he keeps saying that he's a sexual person, so it's throwing her off. What Jasmine needs to say is, I don't think he likes me because he keeps talking about how sexual he is, but he is not doing any of that towards me. She needs to make more direct, honest statements. Stop talking in circles about what the issue is. You're nervous because your husband talks about his sexcapades and how sexual he is, but he is not trying to do it with you. So she then thinks that the experts did a good job by putting them together, and she thinks that they just need to work on both being honest with each other, direct, and then just putting in the work to make the marriage work. We'll see what happens. I do not have high hopes, okay? So we get Domynique. Meet up with her mama. We don't care. We shouldn't have saw it. Why is your mama back on TV? Why are you back on TV, butterface? Her face looks like putty. I feel like you can take Domynique's face and go like that, and it'll just mush off like Play-Doh. She gets on my nerves. So her mom was like, I'm excited to get to know him more. We don't care. Point blank period. Her mama wanted to be on TV. Her mama feels like you dropped this bag. Domynique is lying to her mother, saying that McKinley was so petty. And he was very vocal about what he didn't like. Oh, maturity. Okay, so you don't like the fact that he was telling you, you know what, I don't think I like to ride horses. That bothers you because he doesn't like to do something. And he is adult enough, knows how to use his words to string along a coherent sentence, a mature one, to tell you and express his feelings. I don't like doing this. That bothers you. That's petty to you. So her mom was like, well, did you talk to him about it? Domynique says yes. She was like, did you give him time to change though? And in that moment, Domynique knew that she looked like a fool. So she was like, well, I think I was very patient and I had enough time to know that this was not going to work. You didn't. You got your trip to Puerto Rico. You got to do all the excursions that you probably couldn't afford to do if you would have went on your own money, and now you're done with the show. So Clint and Gina have a Mexican fiesta. They putting on fake tattoos. I said, y'all ain't got nothing to do. Gina's talking to his friends, and they're telling her, don't hyper-focus so much on the negative. Gina thinks that they're going to work out. You know, she thinks that they'll get better. She feels that she was just overthinking the entire marriage situation. The entire moving in situation. Clint is talking to her friends and said that they've had peaks and valleys. But he knows that they are both brutally honest, and he feels encouraged that they are on a positive track. Again, all these parties were boring. Did y'all like the parties? I feel like we've seen better parties. Haven't we seen people like dancing and playing party games? Am I like thinking of a different show? So we get to the party potluck at the end. The couples have not seen each other since the honeymoon. So McKinley gets there, and he said he is not excited about seeing Domynique. We aren't either, McKinley. We aren't either. I was mad when they walked in. Why would y'all be at the party? Y'all can send a group chat. Y'all know y'all got a group chat labeled MAFS Season 16. Y'all could have sent that out. Y'all didn't need to come to tell everybody in person. So Gina said that Clint is a really good cook. They did have like ribeye tacos. That steak looked perfectly cooked. She said that he was killing it with all the ladies, the way he was mingling, and she knows that now she can have her friends from the salon over, and it'll be great. Clint was like, yep, I'll be doing extensions in no time. Get into it. I said, okay, Clint. Clint seems fun. He's like, Clint is really trying to get through this process, and I don't want to say make the most out of it, but he's really trying. So he said he looks forward to digging deep into Gina. I want to know what little 5-year-old Gina wanted to be as an adult. I want to know what 35-year-old Gina sees in the future. So everybody was like, that's nice. So they're like, who else wants to share? McKinley was like, y'all had sex yet? I'm sick of everybody asking it. Like, do y'all ask your friends that? I have never once asked one of my friends when they get into a new relationship if they have had sex yet. Never. It has never come up. People are grown. I assume everybody's fucking. You know what I mean? So, Nicole and Chris admit that they have. Clinton asked Jasmine and Aries if they are getting frisky. Don't say that around Jasmine. Don't say it too long. Too loud, I mean. So Jasmine was like, now. Okay, girl. We get it. We get it. You have built up sexual tension, okay? So she said, well, I'm sexually attracted to him, but he's not to me. Jasmine is looking for a pity party at this point. Stop saying that. None of these people in this room like each other. Y'all are not the exception. You are not the outcast. Shaquille ain't even got a kiss, okay? So Jasmine said that she has never been in a situation where she has had to initiate sex. Aries was like, well, shoot, I ain't never been in one where I don't want to have it. Boom. Okay? Figure it out. Figure it out. So then McKinley said that Domynique is outspoken. Okay. McKinley said, I lost my voice last night. So he must have realized he didn't say anything with Pastor Cal. So he was like, I lost my voice last night, but Domynique is very outspoken. She knows what she wants, and I know what I want, and we are getting a divorce. And everybody is like, a divorce? Yes, they're getting a divorce. It happens on this show. Y'all have seen it before because y'all have watched the previous seasons. So Domynique said that he made some comments that made her feel that he did not like her. She said that she is a very positive person, lies, and that she does not like to be negative or have negative energy, fallacies. So she said that she wanted to cut things off before it got toxic. Bullshit. So McKinley was like, well, that's not true. Now, McKinley is drinking in this moment. I'm not going to say that McKinley drinks a lot, but I feel like McKinley is definitely somebody that has liquid courage because it feels like when he's having these conversations, he always has to have a glass of wine in his hand or some type of liquor so that he can get the courage to say what he wants. So now that cup is halfway full, halfway empty, now we're getting into it. So he said that he was blindsided. He said that it was really all of her belittling him that wore him down. There was absolutely no compromise with you. It was all me. So Clint was like, and Domynique looks like, one, she looks embarrassed, she looks salty, and she looks pissed because she didn't think that he was going to actually say it. So Clint was like, throwing in the towel is easy. Let these people get divorced if they want to. Let these people get divorced if they want to. Because y'all was just fighting over fat, slender, ginger red. So don't do that. So Kirsten then said, well, don't give up on someone because you wouldn't want someone to give up on you. Have you not halfway given up on Shaquille? People in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. That means all these other 8 people, shut up. Because all of y'all are living real fugazi right now. So Nicole, Popeye pops up and was like, you are going to regret your decision and you're going to regret not trying. Now, I don't think she's going to regret her decision, but I can see her maybe looking back and being like, maybe I should have tried. But I don't see that happening in the foreseeable future. So Nicole then says, so you don't think that maybe if you guys just have some time apart, maybe you can kind of sort of come back and try to work it out? So then Domynique says, maybe. I said, bitch, bye. Girl, I know you fucking lying. I know it. I know you did not just say maybe the way that you just carried them dusty ass Converse on that box and walked out crying just last night. So they go back to their apartment, and McKinley is in his confessional. He said the back and forth is a young person thing to do. He said, and it's someone that is not sure of themselves because he knows that this is all bug. So inside, once they're in the apartment, Domynique is like, that was a lot of pressure. There was no pressure, sweetheart. You said that you're a very honest and direct person. You could have told them, I want a divorce because I don't think that we are compatible, and been done with it. So she then, McKinley says, so why did you say maybe? Because he knows his bull too. So she said, well, everybody was staring at me and Nicole was like shooting daggers my way. Don't worry about Nicole, because Nicole is not in your marriage. So she was like, I just didn't appreciate how this went down. So McKinley asked her, did you say maybe out of peer pressure? And she was like, yeah. I said, I don't know an old soul that succumbs to peer pressure. I don't know an old soul that succumbs to peer pressure and that easily. So McKinley asked, where do we go from here? Domynique said, I wouldn't mind being friends. Girl. McKinley said, absolutely not. I don't want to be friends. I don't want to be friends with you. So Domynique is in her confessional saying that she feels bad about herself. She feels like a carcass in the middle of the street. And see, you want a man that's going to come out and pick up that carcass with his bare hand and present it like that's what you want. No, you feel bad about yourself because your immaturity is showing. You might have some insecurities that are showing. On top of that, you just look stupid. You look stupid. Your age is showing. Your slip is hanging, sis. This is not how this should have went. So she said that she is going to go on a soul-searching journey to piece herself back together as she walks to the elevator. She said she does not want somebody in Nashville hating her, but if he doesn't want to be my friend, he doesn't want to be my friend. Girl, shut up. You don't know what a friend is. And that is how the episode ended. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Let's hop in the comments down below. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, share with a friend, and I will catch you guys in the next one.